Okay guys, I am back and this will be week 5, episode 1. And I've been wanting to make a, what do they call it? I had it in my head a minute ago, but anyways, advent calendar. There we go. Okay, so I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do them, but I think I have come up with a really cool way of doing them. So, this is it. And then remember the little flips we made a couple weeks ago? So, what you're going to need is you're going to need 24 1.5 by 1.5 squares, okay? And then this piece of paper is 8 inches by, actually, you know what, let me write this down so that, because I know there was some questions on a few of the other pockets that I need to go back to. So your main paper is 8 by 11. So folded in half, it's about 5.5, right? Let me just double check because it's been a day since I cut it all. Yep, 11. So folded in half, it's 5.5. So it'll be like an insert. Okay, so you'll need 24 of those, and 12 go on one side, 12 go on the inside pocket, and then the big flips that we made will go here. And then I think Poppiness, Susan Taylor Brown has little circles, and so that's what I was thinking, is that we would number them 1 through 24 here, and then we'll put a big 25 here, right? And then if you'll remember back to the pockets we made a couple weeks ago that have like the big tag pocket here, big one here, it flips, pocket, pocket, and then this is like a side tuck. So you'll need those pockets because then I glued it here, okay? Okay, so that said, 8 by 11, and then you need 1 1/2 inch by 1 1/2 inch, and you need 24 of those. And then you need your flip pockets. Oh, your flip, and then you need that other flip, okay? And then these little tags measure 1 1/8, right about there, 1 1/8. Oh, not 1.5. 1/8 by, I think it's 1 1/4 or 3/4. Yep, 1 3/4 inch, okay? And you'll need also 24 of those as well, okay? So there's those. Okay, so I've already got everything cut, but I'm going to show you how I constructed and made this all even, okay? So you want to start out with your, I ended up using 12 by 12 and I just cut it down to the 8 by 11. If you already have these, then just cut 1/2 inch off of the 8.5 inch side, okay? So I just fold it in half. Okay. Then I just marked out 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. I did that on this side as well. Like I just came down a little bit here. I just marked out 2, 4, and 6. Now go lightly on your paper so that you can erase any extra lines, okay? Just enough to where you can see it to line up your pockets, okay? Like I said, just very lightly. Okay, then I turned it, and this one I just kind of eyeballed. about like that. Because you remember it's going in the spine, so you don't want anything to hang up. So I came in a little bit further on this side. Again, just a light line. And then I'm going to take it almost to the edge there, probably leaving about 1/4 of an inch. Like I said, I've just kind of eyeballed it. Just a light line, okay? Now you're going to bring it in and do the process again. And I started doing this, I eyeballed the first one, like the first prototype, and it didn't go so well. So I would highly suggest doing that, or if you have an easier way of doing it, then do it that way. 4 and 6. And you can use any color you want. This was, I only had a few different choices in my paper selection. Okay, and so then since this is the crease, right, we want to come in a little bit further. So no, I'll bring out the prototype here in a minute. And then I usually just flip it around to make it easier on myself. Bring it out in that direction, okay? Okay. So yeah, that's about right. Okay. So once it gets into a spine, you're not even going to notice the that it's a little bit further out this way instead of closer to the spine. Okay. So let's just get started here, and I'll just show you what I did. So it looks like a patchwork type design. I picked 3 colors. You can do as many as you want, and this is really to use up all those like scraps that we have. All of the stuff you see here was scrap of some sort that we've already cut down for other pockets or whatever, okay? All right, so what I did is lined out my things here, and then you just have to be careful to do just go slightly around, like make sure you're as close to your edges as you can get, right? Because we don't want a ton of seepage in. So I'll do the first one here. We'll do it in its entirety, and then we'll chit chat. Okay, so I just lined it up on this one, on the line, and on that other line there. Okay. And then I usually try to mop up any excess glue. Okay. Now I'll go this one on, actually, let's do this one on this edge here. Yeah, even with doing all the cutting, I'm gonna have to move fast. Once you get the first row done, it usually goes pretty fast, because then you already kind of know what the design is going to be. And again, I usually set down on the line, and then I kind of just move to where it looks about even in between the two, okay? Okay, then what I'm going to do is, I know that this one is going to go down here. So basically you want to try to keep it diagonal. Your pattern is going to run in a diagonal. And like I said, I tend to go to the ends first. It just helps me keep track of the lines, and so that I'm not really off as much that way. That's just like an eye thing, I guess. Okay, so then we know the snowflake and music goes right here in the middle. And you'll see the patterns start to kind of come together here in like this next row. Okay. Then the next color to begin the row is this one, right? Yes. Right? Yes. Sorry, I was double checking my eyes. Make sure I was doing it right. I have a story to tell you guys, and I can't wait to tell it, but I'm trying to decide, do I tell it in this one, or do I, because I'm going to record Sunday's video. I mean, it's like Sunday at like 11:30 in the morning already, but I kind of took the morning off. Whew. Oh, nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do this one here, which would be the snowflake. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting tale. At least I thought it was interesting. Yeah, maybe I'll start telling you when we get to the inside, because by now you probably have the gist of what we're doing. Yeah, so this one is a little bit more time consuming, but boy, I'm not gonna lie, I adore this little thing here. Like, and I think I wanted to make one last year too, and it just never like came to fruition. Okay, I need a snowflake. Now this bottom one's a little bit more tricky. I really just went to the line since we don't have a line on the bottom, and I left like a 1/16 of an edge, 1/16 of an inch edge there, which it's not quite equal to the other ones, but it's close. Aesthetically to the eye, it's close enough, in my opinion. I guess now would probably be oh shoot. All right, well, let's hope we can get this kind of matched up. Anyways, just a little trick that I learned. You always want to do things like in 3s, 5s, 7s, like odd numbers. And I'll show you why in a minute. And that's why I did the colors I did. So like your eyes aren't, the very first thing you see when you look down at that is just the whole picture, right? Or I guess not picture, but you know what I mean? Like just that whole thing there. Okay. So, yeah, and I'm off a little bit on that other pocket. So I'll just bring that one over just a skosh. That's why I always do the ends so that you can, you know, so it is off a little bit. But what I was saying about the even odd thing. Okay, so if you have even, your eye automatically divides whatever you're looking at, okay? Like that's like your eye nature. Whereas if you, And I'm not overly worried about these pencil marks because we'll add a little bit of ink around them and through it, and it'll help blend it down and out. Okay. So your eye can divide it in half now, right? Because it's even, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it divides it this way, but it's impossible for your eye to divide it out, right? Like you could divide it into 3s, but it's not like your eyes are drawn over to this or over to this, right? So when you're doing patterns, florals, that sort of thing, if you can remember 1, 3, 5, 7, that sort of thing, then it's more appeasing to the eye because it can't be divided out. It can't be sectioned out, if that makes sense. So that's just a little bit of, I actually learned that in like, learning how to do floral arrangements. So that's why I chose just 3 patterns of paper, is because if I just had 2, you'd be able to see the pattern, right? So it's patterned, right? Because there's a diagonal here, here, and here, right? Okay, so anyways, if you get what I'm trying to say, yeah. I don't know how much more to say about that. But so it makes it less likely for the eye to separate, and it makes it more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So yeah, I'm going to continue to just glue these down. Yeah. Kind of running out of things to say because I want to get to my story. But at the same token, I don't want to shortchange the process. Ugh. Okay. So maybe, I mean, I could ask you guys, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, so I'm just going to start my story because I don't really have anything else to say on this because it's a pretty simple project. It's going to take you a little bit more than 15 to 30 minutes probably. I think all prep time, it took me about 2 hours to prep everything. And when I say prep, I mean ink, cut, measure, cut, ink, and stack, right? Yeah, it took me quite a while to do this one, but it is so worth it in my opinion because it's adorable. Oh, shoot. You know, I'm not going to do that this time. We're going to just quickly do this. I could probably use my ruler, but... yeah, I'm not going to do that again. I'd rather have it a little more lined up than... Okay, so my story basically is that I got more tattoos yesterday. So this guy, he's an interesting fellow. And the very first time back in February when I got a tattoo from him, he was amazing, right? Like, he was nice, he was sweet, he explained stuff, which, I mean, I've had a tattoo before, so that wasn't an issue at all. But every time since that first time, he's just gotten increasingly weird. And I don't mean weird as like, but like truly bizarre. Like almost, and I hate to say it like this, but almost like a mental health weird. And again, nothing's weird about it. When I say weird, I don't mean like weirdo, but I mean like the things he says is just off the wall. Maybe that's a better word, because I am a self-proclaimed weirdo. But he's hard to figure out. And at first I was thinking maybe it was like depression and like maybe like ADD or ADHD or, you know, something, or, you know, traumatic childhood, or I mean like just like you would have to hear him to know. And so each time I get there, right, like it's not supposed to take as long as it does, but like my appointment was at 6, and then he didn't like start making my stuff, which I gave him all the stuff earlier in the week. So I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's not like I went in there with just something brand new that he'd never even heard of, right? He didn't even start it until like 45 minutes after we got there. And then he was complaining because his regulars keep requesting him and not his partner that's in the building. I was like, what? Right? Weird. And I was like, I thought that, like, I mean, tattoo artists are like hairdressers, right? Once you find one that you like. Oh, shoot. Okay, we're not going to do that again. See, talking wasn't necessarily a good thing while I was doing that, right? Anyways, yeah, I was just like, that's so weird. And Grace is looking at me like, Mom, keep your cool. Keep your cool. Because, I mean, he wasn't being anywhere, like, he was not being nice about it. Like, yeah. Like, basically, I mean, like, literally, I have never, ever, like, walked out of an appointment, like, with a hairdresser or anything like that. And I literally was about ready to walk. I didn't know what to say. I was like, so what you're saying is that I should have made an appointment with your other person when, like, I texted you, and nowhere in that conversation did you say, I'm really busy. Hey, would you mind if so-and-so does your tattoo? To which I would have then had the option to say yes or no, right? At that point, I probably would have said no, because this artist is new, and I'm only having words, not artistry done. And I have never seen any of this other artist's work, right? Again, nothing personal, just, you know, I'm going to put something permanent on my body. I'm going to know the person, and I'm going to know what they bring to the table. So Grace is like, I don't know how you're keeping so calm, Mom. And so then he takes a little bit of a break because apparently he had just been tattooing all day. And so he was just tired. Okay. Again, not a big deal, but really this isn't something you should be telling your customers. Anyways, I was like, you want to know why your business is failing? That's probably why. It's not that this kid is a beautiful artist. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's definitely good at what he does. Uh-oh. Where did I set my other pieces? Whoops. All right, hold on, guys. I got to pause it and find those other pockets. Okay, I found them. Sorry, guys. It's like, so back to my story. And we're going to go here, here, and here to finish off this one. Okay, and so, you know, I'm kind of a little annoyed, but at this point, I mean, I've heard him go off on tirades before, and it's not that he meant anything by it. He was just like venting because, honestly, I'm that kind of person. Like, yeah, I could tell you stories of things people tell me. You're like, wow, right? So on the first one, I didn't come far enough, I don't think, away from the spine. It still will work. It'll still be there, but I think I want it a little closer to the edge. So that might be why it looks a little bit different. Anyways, back to the story. All right, so, and I'm going to clip them. just so it gets good and stuck. And then I'll set it aside, and we'll probably fill the pockets like last thing. So anyways, so I mean, like I said, I'm not overly shocked that he's talking to me about things like this, right? Like, I guess it's the mom vibe I put off, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so, and I honestly probably wouldn't still go to him if he didn't do amazing work. Like, he's done all of Beau's tattoos recently, and they're gorgeous, right? Like, he's just very good at what he does. That said, I mean, again, I was a little off-put and a little ticked, to say the least. So yeah, I told him, I was like, you know, if you wanted this other artist to do what you're doing now, then why didn't you say something in the text messages, right? He's like, no, that's not really what I meant, da 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 da, which I kind of figured. That's why I didn't like just leave. And then he proceeds to tell me that he's like how like destitute he is. And I'm like, well, this is probably why, right? Like, because you're telling all these people exactly what you told me. You know, like, you can't do that and have a successful business. I don't know. Anyways, and of course, I mean, I've gotten to know the other artist I wouldn't say quite a bit, but, yeah. So I'll let them do some artwork, but really, Gracie was just like, you know, Mom, you've come a long ways, because before you would have just like got up and been like, okay, have a great day. I don't know. I get the feeling, because he talks about his dad a lot, but he doesn't ever talk about his mom. And I think he has mom issues. Not once in the last few months that we've been going to see him has he ever mentioned a mom. So I don't know. I just get the impression that that might be kind of what's going on. And, like I said, he does beautiful work. Oh, and that was the other part of the story. So he literally was so heavy-handed. I literally, like, we got out to the truck and I was just like, I have never in my life been in this much pain from a tattoo. Ever. Ever. That includes my first tattoo that I got at like 21. Not joking. Not joking at all. I literally almost cried, and I have fibromyalgia. I get pain. I delivered both children completely natural, no drugs, no epidural. I'm like, I get pain. For the most part, I have a high pain tolerance, but Gracie was like, Jesus. And I bled and I bled and I bled. I was like, wow. So needless to say, in the end, I think that's one of the last times I ever let him tattoo me. And Beau kind of had a similar experience, the last one he got. It's really cool. His tattoo's really cool. He did a nice job again, but yeah, he was really heavy-handed there too. So I don't know what the change is, but yeah, I don't know. Well, and then he proceeded to tell me, and again, no judgment. People live their lives the way they want to live it, right? I don't judge other people or what they choose to do. The only thing that I do judge is whether I'm going to be a part of that scenario, right? Like that's it. That's all. You do you. Oh wait. Okay, so red here, and okay. Sorry, got a little lost there. But yeah, then he proceeds to tell me that they frequently use mushrooms and all kinds of stuff. I was like, wow. So they're drinking and doing mushrooms. And I'm like, wow. You guys are playing a dangerous game of roulette with your life there. course, I didn't say that. I was just like, oh, okay. Okay. Not so much, but thank you. What do you say? As a mom, I'm like, no. Get your keister together and stop that, right? Stop that bad behavior. Or destructive, not bad, but you know what I mean? Destructive behavior. But yeah, to each their own. Again, no judgment. That's what you choose to do. That's what you choose to do. Yeah, I mean, I was a little weirded out by the whole thing. So yeah, it just feels like maybe he's on a dangerous path. Well, and then I come to find out he is dating this other artist, right? And so now it kind of makes sense, right? Like why he wants her to have business. I get that. That is so not the way to go about doing it. You know, yelling at your customers because they didn't choose her over you. Well, most of us didn't know she was an option. Okay, so green here. And red here, right? Yep, okay. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm somewhere between saying something to him and just like minding my own business. Like, and when I say something to him, just be like, hey, because I told him what I do now. And I was like, if you need help managing finances or whatever, just let me know. I'd be happy to give you some pointers. Because, well, the other things he was telling me was that he was bartering and trading, which I'm all about barter and trade. Like the whole, like, Paul and I were broke as broke can be when the kids were little. And so for a lot of their Christmas presents, a lot of their stuff was like used, but it was cool used stuff. Like one year, my friend had this little police motorcycle thing that she had gotten for her kids. And all it needed was like a wash job and like a little bit of paint, like on some of the stickers that had rubbed off and everything. So that is what Bo got for Christmas. We fixed it up. Just new, right? I'm all about barter and trade. But when you're not getting anything out of your barter and trade, then you need to stop bartering and trading with those people, right? Because he'll trade like tattoos for like cars or like work done on his motorcycle and you know, all that stuff. And it's like, instead of getting frustrated, you got to go to the source, which you are the source, right? You know, it'd be far better if you charged those people for those tattoos and then went to their shop and paid them to do the work, right? That's, yeah. I don't know. Again, none of my business, but just thought it was interesting. Yeah, I bet you this ends up being almost an hour video. Yeah. Yep. So maybe what we'll do, I guess I don't really care, and I don't think you guys do either, is maybe I'll just finish this one and then I'll glue the other one off camera. And then come back and show you the finished ones. Like I said, this one goes out of the norm of what I, you know, the 15 minutes or even like the 30 minutes. So yeah, we'll finish this one up. So needless to say, I got my 3 words put on. And they're beautiful. They bled like crazy. I'm hoping they heal up well. I mean, and this guy does pristine lettering. Like, he's very good at it. And that, honestly, that's why because I've seen lettering that kind of just like looks weird around the edges and, you know, fuzzy. All of my wording is like literally on point. It's, oh, I just sounded like my teenager. Oh. Stick with me for more teen language, right? Anyways, it's gorgeous script work, like gorgeous. It's legible. Yeah. Anyways, I was just like, yeah, there's no way. Like, that I will probably have him do anymore because he was so heavy-handed. So, and I guess one of the last pieces to go with this lettering is I'm having this other artist draw a dragonfly, but like a steampunk type dragonfly, but very feminine, right? Yeah, I'm pretty excited over that. Okay. This is coming along. Not quickly, but it's coming along. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll go do the gluing of the other one off camera, and then I'll come back and we'll fill the pockets, just so you can see how that part of the process goes. Oh yeah, I am so almost at an hour. Gotta love me, right? If I didn't already have so much to do today, I would probably go take another nap. And by another nap, I mean I woke up at like 5:30 and I was like, it is Sunday morning. I don't know why you're up at work hour. Like, yeah, that's when I usually wake up to get ready for work and whatnot. Unless I'm going in like way early. But yeah, so yeah, I was like, no, you're going back to bed. So, which I think that actually made me more tired. So, I'm kind of excited for next weekend because it is Labor Day weekend. So yeah, that's pretty exciting for me. Okay, now, so I don't get confused again. That worked out pretty good. Maybe you guys, if it was getting too confusing, maybe just put your end pieces already there. And that way, it'll go pretty smooth that way. I need to get started on a couple other projects too. I'm just kind of, I don't know what to start, so I haven't started anything, if that makes any sense. All right, one more right there in the middle, and then we'll get the other two pieces glued on. And I'll pause the video for a second, and then we'll come back and fill a couple of the pockets, or at least one of them, I guess. We'll fill one, because if I tried to do all of them, it would probably take another 15 minutes, and then the video would be way too long to even, like, load. Okay. Okay, and now for this back pocket. you know what I'm going to need to do? Oh, I have some clips here. I was like, I'm going to have to get out some more clips, but I have them out. And I think in the next couple of videos for this week, so that I can get them done, I'm going to actually just work on filling these, like these pockets will probably be the next video. And then we'll pull out a couple of the other pieces. And then if we want to go back and do some more fun ones, like just like one-step projects, like the paper clips and that sort of thing, because there is some other ephemera that I want to make for these. So rest assured, we'll get it. We're going to do some more cool stuff. But this week might be just about filling pockets with some different ephemera. Oh, one more. Okay. All right, guys, I will be right back after I've glued those other pieces down. So I'll be right back. Okay, I got this last one glued, and we're just going to slip the little tags in. One little trick I was going to tell you guys about, if you don't, like if you're new and don't know this, if your pockets are a little bit small, take a bone folder, or even like I keep like an opener here, and just kind of slide, and carefully, I usually grab my corners and kind of just widen that pocket out a little bit. It's just the glue seeped in versus out. So yeah, so let's just get these tossed in these little pockets here. Like I said, if it's a little bit tight, then we'll do some adjusting there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. This is literally one of the most favoriteest pieces I've ever made, like in the history of ever. And see how, okay, so what I'm gonna have to do, so the glue came up a little bit tall in the pocket as well. So I'm just gonna take, just make sure that there's not any, like that it's down a little bit, okay? And then it should slide right in there. Should, right? But we're on camera, right? Under a timeline. Oh, and I should tell you how I made those edges. Is I just took my stub puncher. It's one of the crocodiles, and I just used the stub side at the top. Just thought it gave kind of a different flair. The little tags. Yep, so they just slide on in there, and they do come out pretty easy. This one's a little tight too. There we go. And then we'll just slip them on in these ones in here. And then you'll have 3. If you're doing the 3, if you're only doing 1, then you'll have 1 completed. If not, then you'll have, you'll either have 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you're, I have 4 completed, because like I said, I usually do a prototype just to make sure. And then I decided that I'm going to show the measurements again at the very end of the video and just do a refresher, because if you're new, sometimes I don't, I do work a full-time job on top of a part-time job at my dad's office, plus I do this. So I don't always, when I'm filming ahead, I don't always remember to put in measurements in the description box and that sort of thing. So, yeah, so like I said, I'll just put it in at the beginning and the end. And then hopefully that will, excuse me, answer your questions, just in case I happen to not get back to you for a little while. Okay, so there's that. And here's the other one. Oh, I think these are adorable. Okay, and again, they open up. Got that, and this flips up. All 3 of these, so it's like a package. Remember, we're gonna put like a bow or like the number 25 in a bow or something at the end. And then this one we made weeks ago. It's got a pocket here, up at the top, pocket here, pocket here, pocket here, and pocket here. Okay, so those all complete. And then again, the measurements is your main piece here is 8 by 11. The little squares are 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch, and you'll need 24 of those. Then you'll need your flip pocket, like both flip pockets, this one and this one. And then you'll need 1 1/8 inch by 1 3/4 inch, and you'll need 24 of those, and those are the tags. Okay, guys, I hope that you had fun with this, and we will just talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.